Hey guys, I wanted to come on today and just tell you guys a few things about my sublimation journey so far when it comes to sublimating on mugs. Okay, so um, I'm going to try to cover everything that I can think of for those that are thinking about sublimation. And for those of you that may be sublimating but haven't tried the mugs or tumblers or anything like that just yet. Okay. So, try to help you from making some of the mistakes that I may have made. All right. So, first and foremost, you get a lot of questions, or I get a lot of questions. Um, and even before I started doing sublimation, I would get a lot of questions about sublimation. And so I started my journey of studying about or learning about sublimation. And we all go to YouTube University, Google University. That's where I got my degree from. Okay, I'm gonna be serious. All right, but go to YouTube and Google, and you look at a lot of videos, you read a lot of information about sublimation. A lot of questions that we get will be, what's the best printer for sublimation? Well, best printer for sublimation depends on what your budget looks like. You can get printers for as low as 100 and something dollars up to thousands of dollars. It just depends on what your budget look like. It just depends on how you intend on using sublimation. Is it going to be just for leisure, crafting purposes, or is it going to be where you're going to have it as a side hustle or your main job? It just depends. Okay. Um, Other questions that we will get in the groups about sublimation is, well, what is sublimation? Well, you just want to think about sublimation as a dye process. So anything that you put that sublimation ink on is going to dye it whatever colors that ink is. Okay. So you just want to think about it as a dye process. Okay. Um, can you convert or can you change over an inkjet printer to a sublimation printer? Why, yes, you can, but there are certain printers that cannot be converted. Now, I don't have the list. And so, what I will tell you is to go to YouTube and Google and look up the information, because there are plenty of lists out there that tell you which printers cannot be changed over to sublimation. And the process is really easy. If you are interested in changing if you have a printer that can be converted or changed over to sublimation and you want to walk through the process, I do have a video tutorial on my YouTube channel on how I changed over my Epson Workforce 7720 to a sublimation printer. So that's out there to help you. And it's really easy. Don't let it scare you. And I hate saying the word convert, because it's not really converting, it's just changing it. That's it. And it's really easy. I was scared at first, but the more and more I saw people do it, the more and more I read up on it, I was very comfortable with the process once I decided to go with it. So I thought about doing sublimation about 2.5 years ago. And so, in the process of going to get a sublimation printer, I decided to get a sewing machine. Sewing one, but now here's doing sublimation. All right. So that's that. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. What else? So, in regards to the sublimation mug, so if you want to see anything about t-shirts, I've put tutorials on the YouTube channel. And I've also uploaded them into the group about sublimating on cotton, sublimating on 100% polyester. So I have put those out there, and also polyester cotton blend. Okay. So you can go and look at those tutorials. But today I want to talk about and focus on mugs, because yesterday I decided to do my first sublimation mug. I was really excited about it. And all I was waiting on, I had everything. All I was waiting on, as you guys may know from looking at my video, was that I was waiting on the silicone wrap. Well, it's after 5 o'clock and I still don't have my wrap. So I've called Amazon to get that business taken care of. They don't know when I'm going to receive it, but as long as I get my refund, I don't really care. Okay. So I'll just have to make it work. All right. So I'm going to show you two mugs here. And when you look at these mugs, you know, They both look shiny. They both look like they have a glossy feel to them. So you would automatically think, oh, she's just using a regular mug to do that sublimation. No, I'm not. This is a Dollar Tree mug, okay? So you really can't tell the difference just by looking at them because they both have a glossy look to them, right? Um, However, if you attempt to sublimate on here, number one, I've never tried it. And number two, I'm not sure it will take effect like it would on a sublimated mug. Now, this sublimated mug is something that I've purchased from Amazon. So you can't buy these at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, Walmart, Target, any of them. You have to order them from somebody, unless you have a local place. And I can't speak for all states. I haven't found anywhere in Dallas, Texas. But if you have a local place that sell these sublimation blanks, that's what they call them, sublimation blanks. And blanks can be anywhere from a t-shirt to a mug to a coaster to a puzzle. You know, it's all kinds of blanks. That means that it's a blank um, item that you can sublimate on. Okay, so they've put some type of coating on here that will allow you to sublimate on top of it. Okay, and for your sublimation to take effect with the vibrant colors. Okay, so these mugs I ordered off of Amazon and I got 8 of them. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get the best deal because I haven't really looked around to find the best supplier yet. And you have to be careful because sometimes you'll see somebody posting mugs that look like this along with sublimation mugs, but it doesn't say sublimation. And it may even say it comes with the paper and you can get it with the heat tape, but this doesn't say sublimation. Be careful because chances are it probably isn't a sublimation mug. Okay, but that's one of the ways they can get your money is by putting it next to the sublimation paper and the heat tape. Okay, so you always want to make sure that it specifically says, regardless to where you look online, you want to make sure that it says sublimation blank, sublimation mug, sublimation coaster, whatever the case may be, make sure it says sublimation. Okay, so yesterday I decided to go in and sublimate one of these mugs. These are 11-ounce coffee mugs. And again, I did not have my silicone wrap. So you guys saw me go through the process. I'm not going to talk about all that because you can go back and look at the video. But when I sublimated this mug, I feel like it came out pretty good. It came out pretty good. I didn't have what they call ghosting. And ghosting is where you don't have the transfer paper down well enough where it's really hugging the mug. And so air seeps up under it and it leaves white blotches. I'm going to show you an example. This is ghosting. Okay. So I did not have the transfer tape down well. So this is all supposed to be green and a blend of red down here. And you can see more so on this side where it ghosted. So all of this is ghosting. That was not a part of my design. Okay. It also has some ghosting on this side. So put it up so you guys can see it. And, whoops. I'm about to have an accident here. Now, the videos that I watched, and trust me, I've watched so many videos on sublimation mugs, but most of the ones I saw, they were sublimating at 400 for 12 and some even 15 minutes. So I thought, that was the magic number. However, when you order your blanks, read the information because it will tell you what temperature and for how long to sublimate or sublimation will take for that particular blank. Okay, so really 380 for this particular blank is what I should have done, and no more than 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, 5 to 6 minutes. So you can burn your you can burn it. Okay, and what I mean by that is the colors are going to start getting darker, much darker than what they're supposed to be. Okay, and in some places you may even have brown splotches, okay, on it because you burnt it because you cooked it too long. Well, I don't know if someone thought that this was burnt around here, but it's not because I had a blend of green and gold. And so that gold was a part of my design. But I do know just based on what the instructions now say that I did cook this too long. Okay. So read your information. I'm not going to say what the magic numbers are. Read the blanks wherever you order the blanks from. Read the information for that blank so you know what temp and for how long you should sublimate onto that blank. Okay. And one lady told me in another group that because I use masking tape to help hold it down. And when she saw my mug, she said that I didn't have to use masking tape. So that's why I tried this mug. And that's why I tried it without masking tape. So you be the judge. Okay. So I probably won't do it again without masking tape. And if I do, I will make sure that I have that transfer down perfectly. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose. It's, it's no big deal to me because these are mine. So, if I send these off to my daughters or my daughter or friends or whatever, it's no big deal, because they don't understand all about ghosting and all that kind of stuff. They'll probably think it was intended, even though they'll probably say, why did she do it like that? Okay. But so I would prefer to have the silicone wrap just to make sure that I get the best sublimation outcome. Okay. And make sure that it is, nice and fitted, that transfer paper is nice and fitted. Another question that I get is, can I just get sublimation paper and use an inkjet printer? Well, you can. I can't say that it's going to work because I've never tested it. Now, a lot of people say it's not possible. Again, I don't know because I haven't tested it, and I'm probably not going to test it because it's a waste for me. So I'm probably not going to do that. And then some people say, can I just use regular copy paper in my sublimation printer? Again, I'm sure you could. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, and I'm not going to test it. Okay. But if you test it, let me know how it turned out because those two things, I'm not going to do that. Unless one day I get super, super bored and I just say, let me go out here and test this so I can speak on it. So I ordered some additional blanks. This is a coffee mug and it is ready for sublimation. Okay, so this is not some coffee mug that I just walked in some store and purchased. Again, you cannot walk into Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, Walmart, Target, and purchase a mug that is ready for sublimation. Okay, so this mug is ready to be sublimated on, and I ordered these from Bulk Tumblers. I think it is Bulk Tumblers, and it came 4 of them for one set amount. I also ordered these little can holders that are also ready for sublimation. So again, you won't know just by looking at this that it can be sublimated on. And the reason I tell you to be careful is because people will post something like this on the same page that you may be looking at, and it doesn't say sublimation, but you're looking at this one that doesn't say sublimation, and you're looking at one that says sublimation, and you just automatically think, oh, that price is cheaper. Well, that price is cheaper because it's truly not a sublimation mug, but they want to get your money, so they put it next to the sublimation coasters or what have you that look similar. Okay, so be careful. Make sure it says sublimation. Okay, this was another set of 4 that I got from Bulk Tumblers. And it came in a set of 4 as well. So I will be sublimating on these, and you will find them at a local video tutorial on my YouTube channel. Another thing I'm going to tell you is that I would highly recommend if you decide that you want to do the tumblers and the mugs and coffee cups and all that good stuff with sublimation. And if you do not have a mug press and you're going to be using a convection oven, then I do highly recommend that you get the temperature gauge, oven temperature gauge thermometer. Oven thermometer, so that you can put this inside of your convection oven, and then it will let you know when it hits whatever your desired temperature is, so that you know you have the right amount of heat based on the amount of time that you need it. Okay, because as soon as you turn that convection oven on, don't just throw your mugs in there because it's not going to be at the temperature that you need it. But if you put this inside of your convection oven and then allow it to reach the desired temperature, like these for me will be 380. Once it reaches 380, then I can open the door and put my mug in. Um, in addition to that, I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like $5 and some change. And then I use A-Sub paper that I ordered off Amazon. It came with 110 sheets and it was like $18. And then I use Ink X Pro. Now, I love my ink from Ink X Pro, and I also love my A-Sub paper. Now, some people say I don't like Ink X Pro. Some people say I don't like A-Sub paper. Well, it just depends on what your experience was with those products. I haven't had any problems. And when I loaded my ink into my Epson Workforce 7720, I'm still using the same ink that I did from the very first time. So I haven't had to go back in and refill yet. So no problem with the Ink X Pro. Also, if you're thinking about doing the sublimation on mugs, I would highly recommend that you get you some silicone gloves, heat gloves, because these can keep you from getting burned really, really bad. When we're taking something out the oven, sometimes we think we could just, whoop, and put it over there. Don't try that with this convection oven because you're going to get a really bad burn and end up in the emergency room, okay? I would go to the emergency room. Now, you may be able to do some home remedies. I don't know. I'm just speaking for myself because I'm a little girl and I will run to the emergency room, okay? But get you some heat gloves and use them, okay? Do not handle these mugs while they're super piping hot without protecting yourself. Now, some people, after they sublimate their mugs, they will dip them in water. I was told not to do that, and so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to test it to see if it's going to crack or put any cracks or what have you. I'm just not going to do it because when you think about it, heat and then immediate water normally leads to some type of breakage, okay? So I'm not going to be doing that. But if it's worked for you, kudos, all right? I think that is pretty much everything that I wanted to tell you guys about my sublimation on a mug so far. I think that's all I wanted to tell you. Just make sure if you decide to start doing sublimation on your mugs or on a mug, make sure you have the right type of blank. First of all, they're called blanks. There's so many places out there. Also, do your research when you find places because some places, look at the reviews. Some people will tell you, I ordered those blanks and the colors weren't vibrant. Now, does that mean that it was a bad blank? No, it doesn't. It all depends on what type of paper did they use. What type of ink did they use? Are they using a sublimation printer? Or did they try an inkjet? So sometimes you can't believe everything that you see online because you don't know the whole story. You only have a part of it, okay? So I read the reviews on Ink X Pro, and I seen a lot of naysayers saying don't get the Ink X Pro. I ordered it anyway because I saw more good than I did bad, and I haven't had any issues. The things that people said, the colors weren't vibrant and things of that nature, I have had no issues with Ink X Pro. And there is another sublimation company that sells the ink. It's close to the name Ink X Pro, but they had some really horrible reviews. And so if you decide to go with Ink X Pro, make sure that you do see the name, you get the right one. Let me see if it's on here. Yeah. So you can see it's Ink X Pro. That's the actual name. Okay. And it will come with 4 colors, your blue, your yellow, cyan, magenta, and black. Okay. And then it's going to come with your little needles and everything. So you'll be set to go. And another rumor is if you have a inkjet printer that you're going to change over to sublimation, they'll tell you, some people will say don't put the ink that comes with the inkjet into the printer. I did, because you need to test your printer to make sure it's working properly before you change it over to sublimation. So I would highly recommend to put that ink into your inkjet printer, because if you don't and you go right to sublimation, how do you know it's sublimation? The issue is with the sublimation, and it wasn't with the initial printer with the regular ink that came inkjet ink that came with it. So I would highly recommend that you do put that ink in your printer and make sure everything is good to go before you switch it over to sublimation. And there's no issues with that, because like I said, I tried it. So I'm speaking from experience and not what somebody told me. I was just about to forget, make sure you get heat tape. Normally when you're ordering the sublimation blanks, a lot of times if you're going to be needing the blanks, heat tape, and paper, scroll down a little bit, especially on Amazon, and sometimes you'll see like a bulk purchase and it'll have the tape, the paper, and the sublimation blanks. I can't stress enough, make sure that your blanks say sublimation, okay? Because a lot of people have gotten burned because they were on the same page, they looked exactly the same, and one said sublimation and one didn't. One was cheaper than the other, and that was the reason. And they ordered those, and they turned out not to be sublimation blanks. Okay, can't argue with the company because they didn't say it was a they didn't say they were sublimation blanks. Okay, so be careful there. Also, last thing here, when you take your mug out of the convection oven, remember it's super hot. So I had my pan that came with my convection oven, and then I put a towel on top of it, and I just laid it down. Now, you don't want to, I haven't heard the reasoning behind it, but they tell you to remove all the tape and packaging that you put on your mug to sublimate it, take it off immediately. Um, just be careful, maybe have some tweezers handy, because you can grab onto little pieces that you can't pull off yourself. Even the Cricut weeding tool, the one that has that little sharp end on it, you can use that, but be careful because you don't want to scrape, this. And because it's hot, so you can scratch it during the process. And what else? It was one more thing I was going to tell you, and it kind of crossed my mind. Don't. Uh, I can't remember. So hopefully I've given you enough information. And then with what you already know about sublimation, that was it. So a lot of people will say, like with this particular mug here, a lot of people will say, well, how do you seal it? And some people will say, well, you put epoxy on it, or I use polyacrylic, or I use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. This is already sealed. So those 6 minutes, once it's cooled down, you're good to go. It can be washed. It can be put in the microwave. It can be whatever, because remember, it's a dye process, so it bleeds into the mug. You do not have to worry about messing this up, unless you break it, of course. Or like I said, you're doing a lot of, metal scratching up against it. I'm pretty sure you can ruin it that way. But as far as the image just disappearing on here, because you put it in water or put it in a microwave, you're not going to have any issues because it's sealed already. To see that glossy look already on there. There's nothing else you have to do to this mug. And that's why some people prefer sublimation, because number one, it costs more from a customer perspective. And number two, it lasts longer. So that's why it's more costly for the customer. Okay. And it can be costly for you too. And that's why I said I will get in the process of trying to find some wholesalers to purchase from. And as I find them, I'm going to share them in the group. Even if you aren't doing sublimation today, you may think about it tomorrow or whenever. Christmas is coming. I keep saying that, guys. You got puzzles, you got coasters, you got mugs, you got your tumblers, you got canvas. You can sublimate onto a canvas, wood, glass. It's so much stuff that you can sublimate on. Okay. Of course, your t-shirts and stuff like that. Any type of clothing that's a polyester or polyester blend, and even cotton, as long as you're using your polyacrylic and distilled water blend. And I have a tutorial also on my YouTube channel about cotton and using a concoction to be able to sublimate on top of that cotton. All right, guys, I think I've told you guys enough about the process. Like I said, watch the video on me sublimating my first mug, and you'll see me using this masking tape. I'm probably going to do another mug tonight, or maybe one of these that I got in today. And I'm not going to use the masking tape. I'm just going to make sure that I really, really adhere it down, even if I have to coat it in this heat tape. But I would like to see what the sublimation would look like on that stainless steel coffee, 15-ounce coffee mug. I think that might be pretty. I will be uploading a video on how I design in PowerPoint because these images I designed in Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, from the multicolors that you see to like the little bitty dots that you see, the little white things you see, like here representing like snow or something in the background for Christmas, or little stars. Everything I did in Microsoft PowerPoint. I did not use Cricut Design Space for any of this process. Okay. So yeah, if you guys are currently subscribed to or on my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, that's mouthful, right? Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my group. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, then thank you for that as well. If you're seeing my video tutorial for the first time and you like my way of teaching and trying to educate you about the process, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And anybody will tell you, I'm always loading video tutorials to teach you what I know on my YouTube channel. So hit that bell notification so you can be made aware anytime I upload videos to YouTube. And always check the playlist because that's one way you can find. If you don't do sublimation, then you can just click on the crafting playlist. And if you do sublimation and you're looking for something or you're new to sublimation, then go right to my sublimation playlist and you'll find everything that I've done so far on sublimation. And that's it, guys. So again, thank you guys. I hope this was helpful. And you know, my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.